Now we're going to have Howard County up next.
Good afternoon, Governor Hogan, Comptroller Francho, and Treasurer Kopp. I am Michael Martirano, the Interim Superintendent of Schools for the Howard County Public School System, and I'm joined today by our Board of Education Chair, Cindy Valancourt, Board members Kirsten Coombs, Sandra French, and I'm also pleased to have our County Executive, Alan Kittleman, as well as our County Council Chair, John Weinstein, and members of the Council, Jen Terrasso, are here as well. From the Howard County State Delegation, we have delegates Bob Flanagan and Vanessa Atterbury, and Senator Gazone was here momentarily, and he had to leave to get back to Howard County. Also, we have from our central office staff, Vanessa Brown-Dennis, our Chief Operating Officer, Bruce Gist, our Executive Director of Capital Planning, and J-Tab Siddiqui, our Chief of Communications. Board of Public Works, it's a new day in Howard County. We are working hard to improve communications with our stakeholders, fostering collaboration, and supporting creativity. I have taken swift actions to reestablish a more productive, collaborative partnership with our parents and community leaders, and a positive working relationship with our county and state government leaders. These relationships lay the groundwork for further progress and our mutual goal of regaining public trust. We have addressed head-on several chronic issues that have interfered with our system's progress and challenged our relationships with our stakeholders. We are placing the highest premium on openness, transparency, by actively responding to questions, input, and feedback from all stakeholders. We recently launched an online MPIA tracking system to make public requests and responsiveness documents readily accessible to our community. I have initiated a forensic audit to examine our budget practices over the past several years, and we are taking a close look at our chronic health care fund deficit to determine the underlying causes and long-term solutions. Suffice to say, we are reviewing our entire budget for further savings and efficiencies. We have diligently responded to the community concerns about mold with a robust program to ensure indoor environmental quality, using the best practices that are commended by the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA. We appreciate the restoration of $9.6 million in state funding, and we thank you again for that, and have put it into good use in making essential upgrades to school heating, ventilation, and air conditioning systems at Pointers Run, Rockburn Elementary, Burley Manor, and Mount View Middle. And we just hired a certified industrial hygienist to create a proactive way to address our ongoing air quality issues. We are committed to environmental sustainability in our public school construction program. Maintenance inspection scores have averaged over the last 7 years at 91.5%, and for that we are extremely proud. But Board of Public Work members understand that Howard County is one of the fastest growing counties in our great state. Howard County Public Schools enrollment has grown steadily for the last several decades and has increased by approximately 1,000 students in each of the last several years. Our current enrollment is 56,800 students, beautiful children, which is over 1,000 more students than last year, and we expect to welcome more than 1,000 additional students next year. By 2026, our enrollment is expected to have increased by over 9,000 students. Rapid growth brings pressure for additional school capacity, especially in the northeastern portion of our county, where growth is most intense. Today, nearly 1/4 of our schools, 17 of the 73, or 23%, are significantly overcrowded, with enrollment exceeding 110% target utilization. Addressing school overcrowding is an issue of equity in giving all students full access to high-quality educational programs and services. Our productive relationship with our Howard County Executive Kittleman and the County Council has allowed us to secure enough funds to build a long overdue replacement school for Talbot Springs Elementary. We also open a new elementary school in the Northeast region next year and an additional elementary school slated to open in 2023. But the issues at the high school are great. At the high school level, we project a deficit of 2,362 seats by 2022, with the number increasing to 2,686 in 2024. Our revised capital budget request includes the acceleration by 2 years of a much-needed, long overdue 13th high school in 2022. This advancement and acceleration is a collective priority for myself, our Board of Education, our County Executive, and our County Council, and our state delegation. The new high school is estimated to cost over $100 million, with a total state request for close to $50 million over a 3-year period. For FY 2019, we are not necessarily seeking additional funding for that school. We have other state requests, but we are requesting funding towards school construction, but are seeking local planning permission. I need to let you know that if you're reading the papers in Howard County, we're engaged in redistricting right now. And most recently, I have gone through the process with our policy 6010. We have introduced 4 plans to the Board of Education to address redistricting in our county. The Board of Education is taking all of that under advisement, and they will develop a 5th plan through a process of community engagement. Unfortunately, the issues of redistricting have not been addressed to the levels of which we needed to, and our initial plan had us moving 9,000 young people. As a result of the advancement of our high school from our county executive, we have, the recommendation right now is to slow down the redistrict of the high school, but ultimately the Board of Education will have the final plan. At the same time, we are introducing innovation into our planning process by establishing additional programs in our school that are under capacity and requesting to move students out of those schools based upon programmatic needs. We hope to expand our dual credit enrollment for both college and career readiness. So in conclusion, I want to say that it is a good day in Howard County. There's great progress occurring, and we're very proud of our student body and the growth of which, and the performance of which they have achieved. I want to thank this body for the support of which they've provided, and you can view us as a true partner in using our dollars judiciously to get the very best for our students in Howard County. Thank you for your attention.
Well, Doctor, thank you, and you certainly seem like a breath of fresh air, and I want to congratulate you on the work that you've been doing, particularly trying to address some of the challenges that you inherited, especially with respect to the indoor air quality, and glad to see some of your top priorities are replacing roofs and some of the building envelopes. And I want to make a comment about the team you have standing before us here, to have the county executive, the county council, the school board, your representatives to Annapolis all here. Is a big difference from years past, where there seemed to be some contention back and forth, and we don't need to get into all that. But I just think it's great that you have a team standing here working together and trying to improve things. So thank you for your efforts, and I want to thank everybody for working together. I don't know, Mr. County Executive, Fiddleman, would you like to say something?
Briefly, if I could, Governor, Mr. Controller, Madam Treasurer, it's very good to see you again. Nice to be back in Annapolis for a while. I thought it was important for me to be here today, as long as it was the other elected officials, to show that we are working together. We are together in Howard County like I don't think we have been in a long time. And I wanted to make sure you understood that I am all in with the school board and the superintendent on their proposals. The 13th high school is a huge deal for Howard County. As you've heard, we have a great need for that 13th high school, and I've agreed to try to accelerate that. The county council hopefully will agree when the capital budget comes out next spring, but we also need the help from the state to get that move forward. So I'm really asking for that, because we don't want to disrupt our communities and our families, and especially the high school students. If they're in their freshman year or sophomore year, the last thing they want to do is go to a different high school to finish out their time. So we want to do the best we can to keep those communities together. Also, I just wanted to bring up also the fact that, last year's capital budget, we put $44 million from Howard County over $21 million from the state. So I appreciate what you do for us every year. You have been so supportive of Howard County. We want to continue that relationship with you. But I also want you to know that Howard County is willing to pay our share as well. And we want to continue to do that, but we want to do it in cooperation with you. The last thing I bring up is I know there's some talk about an IAC recommendation to do some reductions. And I know there's like a 1% suggestion in Howard County, and we would really ask the board not to approve that. 1% might not sound like a lot, but when you have that over years, it could be a new roof, or it could be a HVAC system, or something else that we need for our systemic renovation. So I would urge the board to consider that.
Thank you, Mr. County Executive. Anybody from the council or the school board or either of our delegates?
Governor, thank you very much, John Weinstein, Chair of the Council, and also the representative, one of the representatives that represents the area where the overcrowded high schools are. I'm not going to repeat what you've heard. I'm in full agreement with the condition that we're trying to address with the solution of a new high school. Fully supportive of that. We have great students and great schools, but there is an impact of the crowding that takes place in those schools, and this high school will address significant challenges that we will face as we continue to grow. We're a little bit of a victim of our own success. Howard County is a great place to live, and a lot of people in the state and out of state are coming to live.
It's a great place to live, and
So
a big part of that is the great schools.
it is, absolutely. And so we want to keep that all in place. So thank you very much for your time and your consideration of our request.
Thank you very much.
And Governor, I'd just let you know that Hammond High School is also in a renovation in the future, and you might know that school a little bit because your children attended there.
Absolutely.
And Lieutenant Governor Rutherford's children attended there, so I want to make sure you know that.
My two of my daughters and Lieutenant Governor's kids all went to Hammond High.
I have a feeling someone over here lives from here.
Yes,
I shouldn't probably say this in a public forum, but my daughter Jamie had a big time crush on the Lieutenant Governor's son.
Well, the cat's out of the bag on that one, Governor. It's been a pleasure, Governor Hogan, working with you for the last, I heard you say, exactly 2 3/4 years.
Thank you.
I go back a little farther with the Comptroller, Peter Francho, and Nancy Comp, Treasurer. In fact, I've got a T-shirt at home that says socially responsible and fiscally prudent, which goes back to when we served with Chairman Rawlings. And I know from that experience, both of you are very focused on preserving and promoting high quality of education. Thank you for your longstanding service. And just to comment, I know some of the delegates and senators have been going off on a tangent. I mean, we know we have a virtuous cycle in Maryland where we promote quality education, and the result is, as the governor mentioned, people who have businesses and really thriving businesses want to locate their businesses in Maryland, and in turn that helps us fund a higher quality of education. And that there are a lot of businesses that we want to recruit and retain. I know Amazon is on your mind, and I think it's a great thing that we have a lot of different competitors for locating, and a lot of options for locating Amazon in the state of Maryland. But Howard County is right in the center. And no matter where they think of locating in Maryland, and it's going to be Maryland, they're going to be, it's going to be a positive thing that we have such a high quality of education in Howard County. So your support would be very much appreciated.
Thank you, Delegate.
No, okay. Cindy Valancourt, Chairman of the Board of Education. We all appreciate all of what you all do, but I'd just like to do a shout out to our new IAC head, because the sentiment and some of the ideas coming out of that department are very exciting to all of us, and we're really looking forward to working more closely with you.
Well, thank you very much. We have a much better working relationship with them as well. Thanks.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Delegate.
Thank you, Governor, Comptroller Francho, Treasurer Pop. I just want to say, as a native Howard Countyan who went to Appleton, so go Raiders, and I have not been around as long as my colleague, Delegate Flanagan.
That's very obvious.
But I do want to agree with everything that's been said, including Delegate Flanagan in terms of Amazon. But we appreciate all of your support that you have shown Howard County these past years in terms of our education system and everything that we've been going through. It is a breath of fresh air in Howard County, and you can see with all of us standing up here, we all join forces when it comes to our children and when it comes to education system. We all support that, and so I just wanted to thank you for all of your support for our county.
Thank you very much, Delegate. Any questions?
I just wanted to underscore again, Dr. Martirano, by not sweeping these problems under the rug, you've done a huge favor to all of us, because the controversies were never, necessary in my view. And I think County Executive and the Chair of the Council, and Jen Tarassa, and the delegates, Delegate Flanagan, we all love a good fight when it's deserved. But that one was, I think, a bit of a curveball, and we didn't really need it. And the fact that you were able to come into a difficult, tense situation and deal with it with a transparent and accountable and open government, boy, thank you.
Thank you very much, and thank you for your support, Board of Public Works. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
But I just say it would be remiss if I didn't say it's a pleasure to see Flanagan and Tittleman.
It was a different gentleman, maybe.
But, and as you have heard, I believe it's becoming increasingly clear. First of all, we need to do something to get the right staff, maintenance, construction, that we have. This is a problem statewide. We've heard it from almost every jurisdiction, and the wise people in Howard County, I think, may have some answers that we could use statewide. It's something we all have to do. And second is the needs are outrunning our funds, and we have to figure out a way to fund so we can invest for the future. And I hope all you folks who are so dedicated to it and so wise will help us do that too. I know some of you, we may not agree on everything, but there's no doubt we agree on that. There's got to be some innovative way of funding good schools that will last and will be practical to maintain.
Thank you very much. And County Executive, gentlemen, thank you for joining us. We appreciate that. We have back-to-back county executives that actually came down. So next up, we have Anne Arundel County. County Executive Shu. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for reminding us.